on here.
We
I just
live, girl. He's alive.
Okay, no, that's cool. I just wanted to find the TikTok. I'm gonna go on Discord and find it, but this
All right, so
impromptu.
welcome.
So hey y'all.
Welcome, everyone. This has been an impromptu takeover because
Yes, because we had to go live about this.
Ooh.
It's cool. It's cool. So this is an impromptu takeover. Welcome to Critically Drinking. We decided to take over Rashawn's channel. Huh?
Do you hear feedback?
You hear yourself?
I hear everything.
I don't know. I don't hear any feedback. So are you hearing feedback from me?
I hear you. I hear me. Does anyone else hear it in the chat? Does anyone else hear the feedback, or is it just me?
Let's see. Rashawn, do you hear it? Hey, Leah. Ain't nobody said nothing yet.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies in the chat, do y'all hear feedback or anything? Like an echo, Candydan? You hear an echo?
Yeah, I hear an echo, like someone has like their television.
Oh. Okay, they said they don't hear anything.
You know, maybe it's me. I think I figured it out. I think I had the extra tab open up, so that's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going ahead and find the video. So
yes,
this is impromptu because I shared a video on Discord about this man and his grandma, and Candydan was like, so where we pulling up? Where we pulling up? So we was like, you know what? We gonna pull up on Rashawn channel because one thing men don't seem to run out of is audacity. Audacity. So I'm gonna pull the video up.
Unmitigated gall.
Oh, I just can't. It's disgusting. So I'm pulling up the video now so we can watch it. So we'll watch this first and then we'll get into our thoughts so y'all can kind of have the outrage with us. And then we'll start talking about it. So for the people who don't arrive early, they're just gonna miss it. Should I set up what it's about? Or
a little bit, a little something, you know.
Okay, so apparently this man wants to move his grandma in to the house. He's married, he has kids, they both work, and he's saying he wants to move his grandma in with them. So in the video, he's confronting his wife about moving the grandma in, and she is not having it.
Wholesome. You know, it sounds wholesome to be honest, to be quite frank.
It's wholesome.
It sounds like, you know, my grandma's having some trouble, let's move her in, let's take care of grandma. It sounds initially wholesome, but wait till you see how it actually goes down.
And why the screen so small? Let me zoom. I think I'm zoomed in. Yeah. Okay. So it's a little loud. Let me know if it's too loud when it comes in, because I think I just got my volume up. Okay. It's a 5-minute video.
Y'all got to see this video.
Can't we get the audacity to tell me that my grandma can't stay here?
You know what? TikTok always struggles in StreamYard.
Why are you recording me?
Because I want to show my family this. This is crazy.
Show your family?
Yeah, but you trying to make it seem like my grandma can't stay here, but we got a whole loft that she can stay in.
We our kids can stay. About this. Your grandmother is not staying here.
She is staying.
See, right there, she already said we already spoke about this.
Right.
We already had this conversation.
Let me see what internet I'm connected to right now, because I think I'm connected to the wrong one. But TikTok always struggles on StreamYard. I'm not sure what it is.
Take that stuff out of the loft, all the extra boxes we got. That can go into the garage somewhere. I get storage. No, I get her bed, put her bed there. She's good. All she needs is a little bit of time. So wherever you get some time.
A little bit of time, or she's gonna be staying.
She's gonna be staying. My grandmom is staying.
No, she's not staying.
She's staying. Yes, she is. She's staying. Hey, look.
We don't have enough room.
But this is my family here, okay? So I'm
your family.
Get that clear.
You need to take care of your family. She needs to be staying.
And you need to take care of our family. My family is
I do take care of our family.
Okay, no, you take care of me and family, kids. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I do.
Our grandma needs to stay here too. All you need to listen.
Matt,
this is what my mom told me. All she need to do, this is her routine. All she need to do is we wake up in the morning at 8:00 in the morning, fix her breakfast.
I don't care about your grandmother's schedule. You need to.
I'm gonna tell you her schedule. When I go to work, you taking care of her. Listen.
How you gonna tell me what I'm gonna do when you go to work? Like I don't have no job. Like I don't have no life. No, I'm not doing that. She's not staying here. That room is staying storage.
She here right now.
I'm not gonna hear. What is that?
Home.
If you cared about your grandmother like you say you do, you gonna put her in a certified home.
I don't listen.
Nobody got time for that.
You got time for that. Why you look at you right now watching TV? What? No, you can do.
I'm watching TV because I'm chilling. I'm not at work right now. I'm resting. Can I rest?
Right now, what you can
do? In my time of rest, you gonna come up the stairs. You gonna bring this camera in my face?
Yeah,
for what?
Because you know what you can be doing. You can give her meds. Put her to bed. All she needs a little care. She sit down and watch Family Feud all day. All she needs
to give up my life so I can take care of your grandmama.
What you like?
What are you doing for your grandmama?
What you? I do love her.
Quit your job since you care so much. Quit your job.
Then where you gonna live?
I'll go to work.
How about
you can stay here and you can watch your grandmother because I'm not doing it.
Okay, see what's all of that? Listen, this is my family here, so you gotta respect that. You respect
you want me to respect your grandmother, but you don't even respect me. You come in here, you yelling, you screaming, you telling me I gotta take care of her. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I don't have to.
But listen, this is your husband's grandma. So listen, I'm asking you to have some respect.
I really don't want to hear this. Listen, your grandmother is not staying here. Like I said, I put my foot down. That room is gonna stay occupied whether they're there or not. I got a family to take care of. I gotta take care of you. I gotta take care of the twins. I gotta take care of your grandma too. I gotta feed her. I gotta give her her meds. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not doing that. And on top, I'm working the job that I already have. Are you out of your mind?
Listen.
You didn't even think this through before you came up here.
But all she do is watch Family Feud.
Okay, and she can sit in the nursing home with her applesauce and watch Family Feud because I'm not doing it.
When our kids get ready for school, all she needs is give her her meds. She take a couple of meds in the morning.
Why can't you do this? Why are you making this such a big deal?
Because you're the woman. You're supposed to.
Okay, so and what you gonna do if I say no?
You're the nurse.
And what you gonna do if I say no?
Then we have a problem.
Okay, I guess we got a problem then. So what you gonna do about it? Because I said no.
You don't see. So what happened when you get older and you don't you want something like don't you believe in karma?
When I get older, I'm gonna save enough so that I can take care of my.
Well, I'm not taking her to a nursing home. I'll tell you that right now.
You're going to take her to a nursing home because she's not coming up in here.
Oh yes, she is.
No, she can't. I will go back out here because she's not staying here.
I want to talk to
like
mom.
I said, she's not staying here. Go ahead and call your grandma. Tell her to go ahead, pack it up. You ain't coming here. I'm sorry. You want to figure something else out.
And I watch those commercials talking about nursing home people malnourished with bed sores and stuff like that. My grandma ain't staying
here. Okay, then nobody said you had to get a one-star nursing home. Go find something better. I'm not doing this. What do you want me to do?
I don't know. Hey, all I know is I went down to the one nursing home down there. I'm not taking my grandma to the nursing home. We need to keep her hair. She's better hair. She's more relaxed hair. Just get up in the morning. We give her her medicine, give her her dentures in, give her her food. That's all you gotta do. She don't make too much. She will tell you what you gotta go to the restroom. It's no big deal. You make it sound like a big deal. You took care of kids.
Do I look like ring a bell and I'm supposed to take your grandmother to the bathroom every time? Supposed to rub her up with lotion? Supposed to give her meds? Supposed to feed her?
But I'm
not doing this. You don't understand how much responsibility that takes. And I'm already stressed out. I'm not doing that. You have to figure something else out. I'm sorry.
I did figure out.
You got to figure something else out.
Hey man, I got to see you got to do some extra work. Are you sitting there?
I'm not doing no extra nothing.
You sitting there watching TV,
and I'm gonna continue to sit here and watch my TV.
You want to do
that? And I may enjoy my shows.
All right, we'll figure that out.
Yeah, figure it out.
She's coming here. I'll tell you that right now.
She's not coming here.
Oh, yeah.
And if she comes in here, you're not gonna have no wife. I tell you that much.
Whoa! Down there, socks.
I'm not. Look, you're gonna have to. You know what? How about this? You ain't.
Come on, TikTok. Come on now.
I know we almost there. I'm gonna switch over to the different one when it's the the way I'm cackling because she was dragging him. She was reading him.
The way she was gyrating her neck.
Go get a house and live together. How about that?
Man, you tripping.
Whoop, he realized he lost that fight. Okay. There's so many one-liners in there.
What?
But go ahead. What was your thoughts when you first saw this video? Because you wanted
there was a litany of thoughts. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get them all off. You know, for the first thing that I thought of is at first when I watched it, I was like, damn, that's kind of fucked up because to be honest with y'all, you know, you guys all know that I'm Caribbean, right? And there is a stigma, you know, regarding putting anybody in a nursing home. And there's just a huge stigma, right? Because we all assume that it's going to be horrible. But when I became a nurse, I had a different train of thought behind it. I see how much caretaking it involves, and not everyone is able to do that type of caretaking. People will criticize, your family will criticize why you put him in a nursing home, but nobody will stand up to wipe the shit, to clean the piss, to cook, to feed, to lotion, to cut the fucking toenails, okay, to clean between the toenails. I mean, there's a lot of work to pick their nose, to get everything out. You know, I'm dead serious, to wash their dentures and all that, to get all the food out of fucking dentures. It's a lot. It's a lot. People don't realize what the work is. So, you know, I gotta say that initially when I saw it, I was like, you know, that's fucked up. You know, because my heart, honestly, Brie, my heart is like, you know what, if I could find a way to make it work, I would want to do that. I would want to be a caretaker. I'm not lying to you. I'm going to be dead ass serious, but I'm going to also be realistic. If I feel like I can't do it, if I feel like I can't do it, where like I'm going to be a disservice, because some people don't realize that your intentions might be good, but your intention got shit to do with what's actually going to happen.
And if you already at your limit and you don't have no like energy,
how the fuck is going to serve her?
Right. Hey, Sterling. Rashawn, can you put the question up that just on the bottom? Like, would you let your spouse's grandparent move in? I guess we could just have it at the bottom. I mean, it's a cute idea. Like, at this point in my life, I'm about to be 36. And, you know, even in my own marriage, I've just gotten to the point where I just have to say no to some stuff just because I know it's not in my capacity. Like in my early 20s or in my 20s, I feel like as a woman, you want to be, I don't know if everybody deals with this, but you're kind of raised, you want to be pleasant. You want, you know, you're supposed to be experienced in a positive way. So I think sometimes I would agree to things that I even knew wasn't in my capacity. Now at almost 36, I'd be like, look, that's real cute. And I know you would be very happy if I said yes to this. But in reality, I'm not going to do it. Get somebody else to do it.
You're going to have to pay somebody. I'll help contribute maybe a little bit to the payment of it. But like the other thing that ran through my mind is like as a wife, and I'm saying this like I'm saying this with full confidence, with my chest poked out and everything, because I've done the wife role for many years. I would not have had the confidence to say what I'm about to say had it been in the beginning of my marriage. But now, since I've gone through shit, everyone has an expectation on what a wife's role is supposed to be. And if you yourself as a wife don't have an understanding of what the fuck you're going to say yes and no to, you will get ran the fuck over. See this video. You get ran the fuck over. You better know what you're signing up for, because a lot of people have a lot of expectations about what the fuck, how you're supposed to dress, how you're supposed to wear your hair, how much makeup you're wearing, when you're supposed to have a child, how many babies you're supposed to have, what your role is, how you're supposed to do your role, what you're cooking. There's a lot of shit. And if you don't stand up for yourself, you will get ran over. And I'm saying that in full confidence, married 20-something years. I would not have said that before, because I'd have been like, I don't know what my role is. I just
whatever he wants me to do. I'll be Bob the Builder in this bitch. Like,
girl, you don't learn how to say no. You're gonna end up on somebody's couch with very little follicles left in your head, because your hair's gonna be falling out.
Right. Okay. Then you won't be cute no more. Your cortisol level's gonna be sky high. Then you're gonna be big as hell. Then he gonna be complaining about you being big as hell because you stressed the fuck out.
Please. So you better know what your role is, and it seems to be that the husband's role, you know. Did you catch the point where he said, because you're supposed to, you're the wife, you're the nurturer?
The part where I would have had to get up and snatch that phone. We would have had a domestic violence dispute in that moment, because the feminine rage I be having sometimes, that like, thankfully in my marriage, my husband respects me and sees me as an equal, but he said this himself. But like, if I honestly, I couldn't be married to somebody who ever even say that to me, because that's the point of contention I had my whole life. Like, early on in my life, I started to gather that some people just projected what I'm supposed to do because I have a vagina. And that was always problematic for me. So I would never even be married to somebody who would have the audacity to ever string them words together, because you really try to be single. You try to be single.
You heard the way he was stuttering when he wasn't prepared for that one. He wasn't prepared. Because
Right.
these men really out here thinking that they're the fucking prize. And I'm not a component of like the woman is the prize, the man is the prize, or whatever.
Right.
I'm not all for who the hell the prize is. We're both trying to help each other out over here. Let's do the best that we can together. So I'm not really one of these people that's like the woman is the prize, the man is the prize. But like he really acting like, you know, he can go to work and leave all these responsibilities on her, and it should be okay
Oh my
because
God.
the few minutes that she has to fucking relax herself.
Oh,
Like, look at you. You're over here doing nothing, watching TV.
oh my God, let's get into that. But first, I gotta get into two things he said that really sent me out of all the foolishness he said. But I just wanted to say, Sterling says, props to anybody who does that work. I'd rather pay somebody than have my loved ones be burdened with it. And people say I need a spouse and kids, so one day they can take care of me, but I don't want my loved ones to be burdened or remember me that way. There definitely was a point in the video. One, he got the problem that a lot of people like implicitly have with a woman resting. First of all, let's get into that.
How
And then
dare
second of
you?
all, that whole, when I'm listening to the thing and I'm just like listening, and the part that really took me out was when she said she still gotta go to work. I was like, oh, so you ain't even paying all the bills. Like, because the way he came at it like she a stay-at-home wife, mom, like she just be at the house. So it's like, yeah, she at the house, you know, let my grandma gonna come in here, you're home anyway. And even then, that's like disrespectful to like discount her feelings on it. But if it was that kind of situation where she was just home, I would have been like,
a little
okay,
bit more
you know,
leeway.
a little bit. But then when she said, I still gotta go, I said,
What?
oh no.
Well, Kevin Samuels done told him nobody gives a fuck about your job. So these men around here thinking about fuck your job. It don't matter anyhow. These people, girl,
Yeah, he said fuck her job because he seemed to forget she got one. Because the way he just said she just watched Family Feud all day. And so who gonna be here with her?
Okay. When she fall down and you throw your back out.
Right.
When
Leah said he rested in his divine masculine.
And you got to clean the shit from the chair and her ass and down her legs and on the floor. Like people don't really realize what it is. People really don't realize what it is.
And the fact that he got a problem with his wife she works. This is the other thing. Like, you should be able to have empathy. Y'all both work.
Girl,
so why is it a problem when she taking her day off watching TV? Y'all both go to work. So why can't you understand people
over here doing nothing, watching TV? How dare you?
On my day off?
How dare you?
He never volunteered himself to do any of this.
None of it. He says, when I wake up, all you got, here's her schedule. My mom, and let's talk about the mom. Why? He said my mom gave the schedule. Why isn't the mom taking care of her mother?
The mom would be getting an in-person visit after this. For real. Like, oh, so you thought you was cute gassing your son up? I'm coming to the house. Let's talk face to face. Because what you got something to say to me, you can say it to me. Don't get your son to be recording me.
Can we talk about that for a minute? Yeah. Why do we have to record everything?
Because he said he want to show his family. Oh, I can show their ass in person.
What? You put them on the line. We don't got to record a motherfucking thing. You could put them on the line.
Call the family meeting. Call the family meeting. I'll tell them in their face.
It's crazy how we feel like we have to, well, not me, because ain't no problem, but it's crazy how today's generation feel like they have to record every blasted thing that deals within the house and put it online. Now, hey, listen, somebody done record and upload it, so I'm here to comment on it, okay? But, you know, honestly, I don't think those things are meant for public consumption. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm really hoping it was a skit. I'm hoping in my soul's beings, like he was trolling. I hope it was a skit because it scares me to think that this is somebody's real marriage and their spouse has so much disregard for how they exist and live and feel that they would ever actually have this argument. I hope this isn't real.
I hope so too. But to me, the way that he came across, like, look at you lying down, the way that he was so disregarding her time, disregarding her privacy, it can go either way. It might not be a skit or it might be a skit. I hope it is a skit, but
I mean, I've heard some
girl,
of these men
she did some good acting. You say,
I've heard enough men online talk like that I could believe that it's not a skit, but in my soul, I just hope that it's not. I mean, and then like the whole he seems to me as he's very passive. And he's trying to basically bully her into doing it because either
Exactly.
he usually don't have the balls to say what he actually
Shame.
wants, or
Shame
he's
her.
trying to shame her. Yeah.
Let's talk about the shame, because these motherfuckers online. Oh Lord, let me relax.
He tried to lead from behind. Exactly. His mama leading. Like, I'm changed. I'm saved now, right? I'm saved. I'm married. I be trying to be in my like little cute submissive bag, but I'm squaring up on your mama. I swear to God, I'm squaring up with your mama. Let me find out, cause I
This
had
is
a
some
whole life that I lived.
bullshit.
This a
This is
bullshit.
some
Your
full
mama could
fucking
catch.
niggatry. It's
Your mama could
nonsense.
catch these hands. You and your mama could catch these hands. Do not play with me. Like, don't come recording me.
Yeah, this nonsense about like bring shame back, and we're recording everything and posting it online. It's not gonna end up like you fucking with me. Like, listen, honestly, I'm really super relaxed, chill kind of person. But don't push me. Do not push my kindness. Do not push my patience, because you're thinking that you're gonna try to shame me. I fucking promise you, it is not gonna be the way that you want it to be. It's not gonna end up the way that you thought it's gonna end up. Keep
To
playing
me,
with
this
my
is the
kindness.
equivalent of like mushing a man in his face and being like, if he slap you, he out of line. Like, I feel like this is egging someone on. Like, this is pushing someone's buttons.
Because you've shown yourself to be kind, you've shown yourself to be worthy, you've shown yourself that you are a decent human being. But like, it almost seems like when you do that, they're just adding more and more and more and more responsibility to push you to the fucking max. You know, it's almost like you can't even be a kind, good woman nowadays, because there's no end to the fucking responsibilities that people will put on you.
No boundaries. This is, to me, boundary enforcement. I think that in the marriage, even, like, hopefully it will never get to this point. Hopefully both sides can be respected for and be their authentic self. But this strikes me as like boundary. This is what happened. I think a lot of marriages have boundary problems. There, I said it. I think a lot of marriages have boundary issues, and this is classic boundary issues. Yes, you can have boundaries even inside a marriage.
You absolutely need to have boundaries. I for sure have boundaries, and I know my husband got some boundaries. Okay,
Right?
We definitely have boundaries, and that's how we respect one another. But putting a camera in my face after we done spoke about this shit because you trying to shame me and embarrass me on the fucking internet?
Yeah.
No, this is beyond. This is just too
She
much.
better than me. She was holding on to that. What she was holding a phone or something? Because you got to do something with them hands. Because it would have took every ounce of my strength not to hop. I would have hopped up out that bed so quick. I would have hopped up out that bed so quick.
All of your 110 pounds, and you would have hopped out the bed, girl.
I would have hopped out the bed, because what we not finna do. Like, you not finna sit here and record me. First of all, betraying your partner's trust with clout. Hey Ty Libra, my mama said all you gotta do, all your mama gotta do is kick rocks and shut the fuck up. See, that's why I couldn't be on camera.
I would have called the mama and been like, "Excuse me, Mrs. Yada yada yada. Can we talk about this for a minute? What's going on? Why aren't you taking care of your mother? Why is your next
not taking care of her?
Supposed to do it? And I'm taking care of your son.
Why is the mama not volunteered to take care of? Because this was his grandma, so this was his mother's mother,
right?
So why was his mama not?
Right.
Why is everybody expecting his wife to do it?
Take care of. And the thing about it, Brie, like, you know what? Even as much nonsense, as much, I don't want to say nonsense, as much as I'm like talking about this right now, you know, I'm not against helping out, but I can't take all the responsibility. So the family has to come and help out. Like, we got to take shifts. Like, if the conversation was like, hey, listen, on a Friday, you know, can you do a day? And then my mom will come by, and then like, if the conversation was anything outside of like, you're going to take this responsibility 100%, I would have been like, well, maybe I can see that a little bit, because I'm not against helping the family out. Like, I knew what I bought into when I got married. But I understand that.
That's the conversation you had, though. And like, I mean, but me and my husband, we talked about our parents. Like, when we get a house, we want to make sure it's accessible, and because we both feel like we would take care of our parents.
Right. Yeah.
My mama, his mama.
Right.
Like, we definitely talked about that. This is his grandma, and the fact that your mama is like trying to put your grandma on me is also gonna send me, because that's her mama. That's her mom. She try to skip. Ooh, I bet they Gen X. I bet they Gen X. I bet that mama Gen X. I just know in my soul.
But I want women to recognize that when you get married, that all this nonsense that these men, and I'm not talking about men in particular, I'm really talking about like a particular type of thinking. When you buy into this idea of like, girl, you got the ring, you ain't married, so what? Like, you are signing up for all of this nonsense. You're signing up to be everyone's caretaker. You're signing up to take care of your husband, his food, his sexual needs, the caretaking of the house, cleaning of the house, taking care of his mama, taking care of his grandmama, taking care of his grandpa, taking care of every fucking body. And if you don't make some kind of concessions here and take care of your fucking self, nobody will. Nobody will.
It's up to you to enforce your own boundaries. That's what I always say. Even with people who love you, right? Like, they're your boundaries. It's up to you to enforce your own boundaries. If you don't speak your boundary, make it clear, also enforce it if need be, no one else is going to do it for you. I wish people were decent enough to not take advantage of people, but unfortunately, even people who love you will take advantage of you and your kindness if you do not enforce your own boundaries.
Exactly. Well said.
And it's not because they don't love you. It's just that's how people are, especially in America, where you try to exploit to get the most value you can out of people with the least amount of effort. It is just how we are programmed to be in this country. So just because maybe her husband loves her.
Say that again.
I'm just saying, like, that's what it is. Even your own husband can exploit you. Even your own wife can exploit you. Like, that is the name of the game in America. Exploit people. Do as little as you can and get the most out of them as you can.
Girl, you said a word. You said a word. That needs to be a quotable something.
Listen,
telling you.
One thing you ain't got to worry about me is not enforcing my motherfucking boundaries.
Okay.
And hey, even in my own marriage, sometimes my husband be upset. I'd be like, listen.
You're going to be upset. That's okay. You're going to live.
I'd be like, I ain't got it. You know, I'm very impulsive. I like to shop. We, have some talks about budgets and he want this to happen. I'd be like, so that's cute. I love your plan. But if you're looking for me to not be impulsive, to make it happen, I'm going to need you to tell me exactly what you want me to do. You have to communicate that to me. That's a boundary enforcement. Not in the sense that I'm saying, no, I don't support you, but it's like, I can't become somebody else.
Right.
So that we can make this thing happen, right? So, like, you're going to have to carry your side of it to help me help you. And, like, I think all of this stems from people not knowing where they end and their partner begins.
I agree with you there, and to add on top of that, I also think that there's just like women in general, like this idea that like you're married now, and so therefore you're no longer yourself. You have no ability to make your own choices. You have no ability to have individualism. Your time is not your own. You know, like your fucking body belongs to these goddamn babies that's sucking on you. Your body belongs to your husband. Your fucking time belongs to the whole fucking family. Like, you can get lost, which is why I said,
I'm getting triggered. I said I be getting triggered. Every time I hear somebody say, you belong to me, I be like,
what? Your time is not yours. The way you wear your makeup is not your own choice. You wearing wigs is not your choice. Like, everything you do, it's like, my God. It's just
can
too
I
much.
shit by myself on the toilet? God damn, if you got pets and toddlers, you can't do that by yourself.
Can't do that. Cannot do that. You know, so like I said, I want to reinforce that I'm not against people who have the capacity to take care of their grandparents. Like, if you have the capacity and it's within your means, then fine. But just the way that this conversation happened, like, even if she was home full time, like, sometimes even in the hospital, it takes 2 nurses to turn a patient. It takes 2, sometimes 3 of us. Just to clean one person. I don't know if this woman has dementia. She's going to be bugging and she's going to be fighting. You know, like, it's not a one job, just do this, just do that. So it's done. It's not.
For like good, competent, complete care, it takes a lot of energy.
It takes a
village. You ain't saying nothing about hiring no home health nurse.
You just say nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be one, like, I would like change this conversation a little bit. I'd tweak it a little bit if he even mentioned, listen, babe, first of all, it was a tone for me. It was the expectations.
It was audacity.
But
I said it really was the audacity for me.
It was the way that he spoke to her as if like, bitch, listen, let me let you know what you're about to do around here. You know, she had it was fucking nuts. You know, and even if he changed the way that, and you know, even if he changed the way that he spoke to her, also he didn't even offer up any money in terms of like, listen, maybe we can get a home health aid, you know, home health care aid a few
Yeah.
times a week. My mom is gonna come
Right.
and step on, like my brother, my sister, my cousin, somebody. Like it was just almost as if this is gonna be your new responsibility now, and nothing changes
Right.
for me, and that's
Yes,
just not acceptable.
right. And Sam, I hope it's fake. That's why I said I hope this is fake. I hope it's bringing a conversation on. We thought the conversation was definitely worth having because people are getting married with like no guidance and not having conversations on the front end. Like I was saying, we've had the conversation about our parents. We both feel like we would be compelled to take care of our parents because they have been good parents to us.
Yeah.
Right. But best
Oh,
believe if the
talk about
parents
that.
weren't good parents to us, then
Talk
the
about
mama
that.
would have had to find her way.
Girl, that's another thing. People, oh Lord, you don't even know how you just opened up Pandora's box just now.
Listen, because if daddy wasn't shit, daddy can continue to not be shit until he goes into the ground. God rest his soul.
Listen, but there's an expectation, like especially in a special culture. You know, I'm always referencing West Indian culture, but I'm sure it's a lot of other
Right.
cultures. That's your parents. The Bible says to be good to your parents.
Now
It's
it's
your
honor
parents. I
them.
don't care what they did. They brought you in the world. You owe your parents. Right? There's a lot of cultural expectation, not in all cultures, but in quite a few, that, you know, your parents, you're supposed to do everything in your power to take care of them, no matter how good or bad they
But
treated you.
even if they didn't do that for me when I was a whole ass
Even
dependent
if they
little
didn't,
wee
it's still
child,
your mother. You only got one mother, Bree. You only got one mother. You want to go to
I only
heaven?
got one life too. So
Man, they'll throw that guilt on you real quick.
they do. People really be like, I just see that too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, even in the hospital, people are like, oh, they have 4 kids. Oh, none of the kids are here. You don't know what kind of a parent that woman was, that old man was.
they've
You have
been
no
shit.
fucking idea what they done put them kids through. So I don't judge. I'll tell you
Right.
that right now. I do not judge. If these parents, they might be horrible, or they might be feeling like, you know what, I have to repair myself. I have to take care of myself. You didn't take care of me, so now you taught me how to take care of myself, and that's what I'm going to continue to do.
Yeah, exactly. So we got some. My ex was an RNA. She said many residents didn't even get bathed and changed on the daily. Yeah, I mean, especially if it's like one of them cheaper homes. I mean, nursing homes cost a lot, and yeah, the nurse they're tight, and a lot of those in nursing homes they're not even RNs. A lot of times,
Oh no,
CNAs,
mostly
and
run
there's
by
like one.
CNAs.
Yeah, and one RN is managing the cases.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a
40
lot of
patients,
times,
70
yeah, and
patients, all kinds of crazy shit.
it's stupid. In relationships and marriages, we're gonna run into obstacles over and over, and how we handle them will determine if we stay together or not. My mom would get a home health aid. Yeah, I mean, luckily I wasn't RN, but then because of that, I would be hiring some home health aid.
Because you know better. It's not
I
easy,
know
even
better.
as a RN. Like,
It's
I weigh
not
130 pounds. What the fuck you expecting me to do? My mom is damn near
listen
300 pounds. What am I supposed to do? I need help.
exactly, and if we can't afford to do that, so for us, because we know we want to be in a position to do that, it's very important for us to have our finances while we're able-bodied and working. We are very focused on building capital, making money, so that we do have the ability to make the choices we want to make.
Exactly.
Because
And
guess
this
what?
whole
If you broke when that time comes,
you gonna be
you
broker.
you gonna be broker, and you gonna have to
Okay.
make broke options
Exactly. And that's
and
when you
broke
end up in them
choices.
shitty facilities that are over, you know, that doesn't have the capacity to
Right.
do what they're supposed to. And the other thing is people talking about, oh, in some of these facilities, like I think some said they don't even bathe your mother once a day. Then you come and bathe your mother, bitch. Then you come inside this fucking facility and you bathe your
But people
motherfucking
be leaving
mother.
their people. They
Wipe
be
in
leaving
between
them.
her vagina, clean her asshole, brush her dentures, and all that shit right there. You do it. Like there's no, like I don't understand why people feel like you can't go ahead and contribute to the care of your fucking parents.
Sit in and forget it. I think they just paying back their parents with how most parents parent, which is drop your ass out at the school. While you there, they got to do everything for you, which is not true. And you come home. And I think that's just how most people think care. That's what most people think care is. Real talk. Most parents aren't involved in their kids' schooling. They're not doing none of that. They drop them off and let them people over there deal with them. And so I think most people aren't even, which also means most people aren't even qualified to provide adequate care. So
They're
once again,
not. And even the ones that have the best of intentions, like I'm not even talking about the ones that are like, fuck that, or that are horrible kids or whatever. Sometimes
right.
people have the best of intentions and they really want to help out. They really want to do what's best for their parents, but it's not possible. It's
Yeah,
not.
you don't have the
Especially if
capacity
they're
just
big.
because you
It's
love
not like
your
taking care of a
mama.
baby.
Just because you love your mama don't mean you won't kill her with inadequate care.
Exactly. Like you just don't know the signs. You just might not understand what the hell you're looking at.
Yeah, like I think they referenced like when Kanye West's mom was sick, when she died, it was like she had the choice to have staff to watch her after her surgery, but they went with family members because they thought the family members would be better caretakers.
I didn't know
And
that.
they didn't know the signs of overdose for like the pain meds and stuff, and the signs of when she was having respiratory distress. So they missed completely that she was not okay.
So it's not all like I'm glad you mentioned that. I didn't know that story about Kanye, so I'm glad that you mentioned it. But with the best of intentions, we can make mistakes. And imagine the guilt family members have to feel and live for the rest of their life thinking, damn, I coulda, shoulda, woulda, as opposed to like taking it to a professional.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know,
I
it's
pay the
not
people,
easy.
and still watch them. You can,
You can still
still watch them.
contribute. You can
You
come in
can
there and help
contribute,
out.
ask them what they're doing, be aware of the process, so you know if something's
Do a
not getting
couple things.
done.
Braid their hair.
Yeah,
Shave your grandpa. Braid the hair. Cut them damn toenails. The toenails be looking like tree
she said them
roots.
toenails be
They be looking
real.
like tree roots. Okay,
Ooh.
like you're about to propagate them things and grow them. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Thank you, Sterling. Ine asked the question. So, what are your thoughts on how to handle instances where one person deviates from the original agreement because their original position has changed?
And that's really hard
So, yeah,
because
like we agree, and then life was lifing, and so we get to the day, and we like, I feel differently about it.
yeah, let me say that's life. That's marriage. We're not going to be the same people. Like in my marriage, I'm not the same person a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago when I first got married. Like, and there's an expectation that when you are a mature person that's able to self-regulate, that's able to be aware, you also understand the other person is also going through a growth process and that things are going to change. So you constantly have to amend your plans. It's not going to be, set it and forget, like Brisa, I like that word. Reminds me of Ronco rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, I be thinking about that rotisserie chicken commercial. Set it
And forget it. Yeah, it's not like that. So any two people that are pretty much reasonable, that understands how they themselves have changed their minds, has an expectation. Like, you know what? I've changed my mind on quite a few things. So it's not without reason that my husband's going to change his mind on some things also. And you're going to have that. You're going to come to the table again and try to figure it out and figure it out again and figure it out again. That's just the way that it works.
And sometimes, you may have said that before you had 4 kids, and like, when you're young, especially if you get married young, you're hopeful. You think you're going to be making the money you want to make. You're going to be living the way you want to live. You're going to have these angel babies who aren't going to drag you. And, the day may come and you're like,
you might have an autistic kid that has special needs. Then what?
Right. Like, I know I said that when this day came, we would do this, but like, we might have to consider something because, like you said, maybe we got a special needs child. Like, we didn't anticipate having. Maybe we got 5 kids living in a 4-bedroom townhome already. Like, maybe you never made the money you thought. Maybe your business didn't take off the way you thought it was going to take off. So we living off $56,000 a year when you thought we was going to be living. All kind of stuff happened between, when you make promises and when they actually come to be collected. So
absolutely. Even if your child's not autistic, sometimes these kids have asthma and you always run their asses to the hospital. I heard people like had sickly babies, colicky babies. No, I never had no babies, but this is what my friends done told me, child. And even
these
if they
kids be
are
dragging
like
you, healthy kids drag you.
Just constantly sick, perfectly all right, but like just sick all the time.
And
It's not easy.
just codependent, just like you can't breathe without paying attention to them. Kids drag you. So, you know, a lot of people make promises before even having kids in regular relationships, even maybe even a career. There's so many things in marriages that change the trajectory of your dynamic that you did not anticipate, right? Like I became a nurse. Well, I think I was a nurse when we got married. And then I stopped being a nurse. So like that changes the dynamic now.
Yep.
So I mean, dynamics change. I think decisions should be talked about from your actual dynamic you're in. I don't know. For me, I'm not one to make promises about what I'm going to do. I don't know if that's because my life is just chaotic. So I kind of just know better for me. But like we talk about intention, you know, and like when we talked about the parents, I think it just kind of came up. But I think some things you could deduce, even from the conversation in the video, it sounds like the wife kind of feels like the husband don't really care about his grandma as much as he letting off. And I kind of picked up on a dynamic of like she knows his mother is pressuring him to do this because he's not actively involved with his grandma. And so it's kind of like all of a sudden when your mama trying to pressure you care about your grandma so much. Like that's what it kind of felt like when they were even talking about it. Because like I felt like that conversation came up naturally for me and my husband because I'm gonna go out my way. I'm gonna see my family. I'm gonna see my mom. I'm gonna be there to help them. You know what I'm saying? Like almost, you know, if they need my help and I can do it, I'm gonna do it because they have been good parents to him. And I'm the same way with my mom, like, you know? So I feel like that conversation comes up naturally if you have a good relationship. So from that, it kind of even feel like she was like, "Boy, you don't give a fuck about your grandma like that."
Right. I agree with you 100%. And she also know what kind of a caretaker he is. So she already knew, like she asked him, is she going to be staying for a little while or is she going to be staying?
Right.
Because it seems like she might have been amenable to a little while, but when is she staying? He was like, she's staying. She's like, oh, hell no. Because I know what this been already be. You know, you're about to dump this responsibility off on me, and this is not how it's working.
Right. Yeah. I think, yeah, I'm the same way. They could stay for a little while, you know, especially depending on what's going on. You know, sometimes that is a big difference. Staying, that's a lot. And
That's
she
a
got
lot.
twins.
We really got to talk about this. Something that you mentioned, Bree, that like as Black folks, I don't know if we take into consideration when we are climbing up the financial ladder. We talk about like the soft life and luxury life or whatever, but we really got to talk about preparing financially for our parents, for ourselves, for these like retirement years. Like your plan, goddamn it, like what's your plan going to be when you are not as strong and capable, physically capable of making all these choices for yourself? It's something that we just don't talk about enough.
We don't. You know, this gonna sound terrible, but conversations like this, I'd be like, you know, voluntary euthanasia might need to be on the table for real.
Listen.
The financial and traumatic experience, like if you doing end of life care, and like I don't know if that's really the best way. Like
I'm all for it. I'm telling you that right now.
For it.
I'm all in. I ain't kind of for it. I'm all for it for myself. Everyone has the right to make their own decision about what they want, but for me, I'm all in.
Yeah, this one lady I saw on TikTok, because you know, in some states, I think it was in some countries it's legal, and she was like, "We're going on a trip with my grandma. Like her grandma was sick, had terminal, or something like that," and she was like, she had set a date to like pass. And so they went on a final trip, like one last powwow with grandma, and she was still able to go and enjoy it. And she was like, yeah, she's being put to rest on this date. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of low key fire though.
Yeah, like you control, like I don't understand, like, and we're dipping off into a little bit of a side topic, which will be great for our Sean, because I know we'll talk about God, but like to be honest with you, for people that are religious, and I'm just throwing this out there, you don't really, it's just a hypothetical question. You know, if people believe in God so much, then why are they afraid of dying? Why are you afraid of dying? I'm not saying that you're going to be willing to throw yourself off a cliff. This is not what I'm saying. I'm saying like if you know you have a terminal illness, right, and you lived your life the way that you're supposed to live your life, like why are you over here hoopling and hollering about like, oh, when you know it's terminal? What was the point of you
Right.
believing
You
all
gonna
your
die.
life about Jesus, the Lord, and redemption, and all this other stuff that you were feeding me, but then you scared to die? What's
Nah,
the
they should
fear?
sound like my mama. Because one thing about Lois, she is not worried about dying. She be
Right?
like, when
Let's
it's
go.
time to go, let's go. She is not
You
pressed
know,
about it at all.
I'm
So
not pressed about it either, but people be so pressed about it, so pressed, and I'm like, what are you learning in the church? What did they teach you? You ain't get no self confidence.
I
You
think some
like,
people just so controlling, they can't stand to know people gonna be living their life and they can't have something to say about it. I'd be like, some of y'all
mm,
motherfuckers need to pass on to the other side because
mm.
you don't do nothing but try to control people. I think it's a control issue. Um, but what does voluntary euthanasia mean? Yeah, like when you put the dog to sleep, you know, when your dog got terminal ill, you could just be like, you know what, let's just go ahead and
To
call it a day.
euthanize
Yeah, right now,
someone.
let's go ahead and put them to sleep now. No point in them suffering. And
This is
you
the
know,
one
being a
time when you
nurse,
are allowed to push potassium.
right? I mean, because we've seen people on the verge of death. It's like not cute and it's not
Oh,
comfortable
with the
and it's not.
suffering. Oh my
It's
God. Have you
terrible.
ever touched someone's skin and their skin hurt, Brie?
No, I haven't dealt with that, but I've seen, especially when I did like med surge rotations or hospice. My friend is a hospice help. She has her own business and she just be telling me about it. And I'm just like, damn, that's fucked up. Cause she was like, yeah, you know, the longer they on the pain meds, even on hospice care, it's like they stop working.
Mm.
You know, it's terrible.
It's like I've had to wipe tears from a man's eyes just a few hours before he passed away. And I was trying to make him comfortable, reposition him. It seems like me just touching his skin to like fix him in the bed. He dropped tears at the side of his eye, but he couldn't even speak. It was just
It's
tears coming out.
terrible.
It was horrible. It was
Yeah.
terrible. I don't know what it is.
It's
Not
it's
everyone
it's
goes through that,
suffering.
but it's
I
rough.
think a lot of people think it's not suffering because a lot of people just don't have close contact with people who die, and you want to
Right.
believe what the movies show you and stuff.
Oh,
But like I said, Leah, it ain't cute. It's
mm-mm.
not
It ain't
cute.
always, yeah.
It's not. So I'm kind of pro that. And in these situations, you kind of do want to, because I know some older elderly people don't want to be a burden to people, but they lose their autonomy in making that choice for themselves at some
Right.
point. So that's the
Right.
other reason I kind of think it should be considered. Hold on.
Right. And while she was going, I'm just going to say that, like, I'm not like saying everyone go off yourself, right? And I certainly want to explore. I think it should be a family conversation because, while people say, I don't want to be a burden, like, I think there needs to be a conversation because, you might not be a burden. If the family can come in and we all can chip in, we would love to have you. So the what do you call it? The price versus the benefit, whatever the
Yeah,
balance is,
the
whether the
risk and
the
cost
risk versus
analysis. Yeah.
exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to get to. Exactly. Thank you. It might be worth it if everyone can chip in and I add a little bit and your dad adds some and your mom comes
Yeah.
by and people
Rotate out.
be rotated out. It's absolutely manageable. And you're not a burden. And to have you around to have conversations with you and take care of you and laugh with you. Like I remember I have a aunt, she passed away of sickle cell disease. And my brother spent a day just watching, like all he did was watch, I think it was Star Trek with her. And he remembers that. And she spoke about that a lot, right? That she remembers watching Star Trek with her. And she was a couple of months from dying, but she remembers that. And my brother thinks, like, he didn't even really want to go to the funeral too much because he was like, the last time I remember, like, this best time I had was just watching Star Trek with her. And that was incredibly
Yeah.
valuable to them,
Right.
So, I'm not just saying like you're a burden, go get rid of yourself. Nah,
But I
you're
mean,
very valuable. But like if you're
but definitely, even
suffering,
in this situation, if she felt that way about taking care of his grandma, trust and believe, you do not want her taking care of your grandma.
oh,
Like,
okay.
you
Is
know
she
what I'm
gonna get the best
saying?
care knowing that she don't want to do it and she's grudgingly doing it? Great
She's not
conversation.
gonna
Is she
take
gonna
care of
go
her
do it?
good. She's not gonna take care of her will, if she already feel that way. And hey, Mr. He said, appreciate you for
What up? What
listening
up?
in. See, Rashawn said my grandmother was suffering at the end. Her skin was removing itself from her legs. I can't remember
Oof.
why, but her room had human pork rinds everywhere.
Pork rinds? What? Her
See,
skin
he
was falling
wild.
off. He wrong for
Yeah.
that.
It be some weird stuff happening. It's a little traumatic for people, and I get that whole thing. Like, I want to see you, I want to remember you this way. And
Yes.
if someone has to become your caretaker, just like if you're trying to force someone to become someone's end of life caretaker, especially, you're removing their autonomy to be able to make that choice in a way. You know, like if they're like, I don't want to be there with, I don't want to remember them that way. You don't have that choice when you're the caretaker at end of life. You don't have that choice.
I'm happy I had that conversation with Freezy, because I don't think people really understand what caretaking is about. Like really, really about. Like, not everyone has the same needs, right? I remember, this is just kind of a little off topic, but it talks about caretaking. When, what is that lady's name? She was really popular. She was called the Black Martha Stewart, and her husband, Dan Gatsby, I think it was. What was his name? Dan. He had a woman that was living, because she had dementia. She had early onset dementia. And so she, where she was at, she was calling her husband daddy. She didn't know nothing. And so he had a girlfriend, and people were so upset that he had this girlfriend in the house. Right. And I was one of the few people that was like, listen, that man has to live his life. He did not put his wife into a home, and it would have been the absolute best home because she had coins, she had millions of dollars, but he left her in a familiar environment, her bedroom, her kitchen, everything that she knows. But it was still so hard. He had to bathe her, clean her. Like, it's not easy. It's not like a baby where you can just lift these two little legs and pull the little booty up. These are full grown adults, and it's not easy. It really isn't. And you have to there's so much stuff. There's so much. You don't know if it's going to be physically difficult. You don't know if it's going to be mentally difficult, because the person is confused. They don't know what's going on. They might have their full strength to fight back.
And boy, when I'm telling you, them people be fighting the way when I was in the hospital with my brother, I was like, yeah, if y'all don't snow this grown man out, the way this man was trying to break up out these restraints. And you're trying to talk to him and hold him down. And they're like, we don't want to. If y'all don't get this man some Ativan right now, who's going to be fighting him off? I'm 5'2". This man is 6 feet tall. People don't understand. People don't always go with the plan peacefully either, especially depending on, like you said, what they have. Oh, I got dementia. Grandma be fighting.
They don't feel like taking their medications. You got wounds. It's a lot. It's a lot. So if she says that I don't have the capacity to do it, I just feel like that needs to be respected. These conversations between man and wife, it's not one way. This nonsense about I'm the man and I'm the one that makes the decision.
So you're supposed to do it.
That's what he said. He says, you're the woman, so you're supposed to. You're the nurturer. That was that's what he said to her. That was his quote.
Spitting, and that would have been the moment I was like, do I really need a husband? I would have really had that conversation in my soul. Let me see. I'm already working. I'm taking care of the kids. Now he want me to take care of his grand. Could I swing this by myself? I really don't make me have that conversation with myself, because I will. Can I swing this by myself? Because you're really not. What's the point?
Yeah, I don't mind her staying, but you're gonna have to. I don't even mind doing some chores, but I can't fully do this. You're gonna have to hire some help, some live-in help. Your family's gonna come by, and they're gonna have to help out. We can, as a team, we can do this.
You can't even come to it like a team. Hey, I'm thinking my grandma needs help, and we got this extra room. Kind of thinking about it. Do you think that's something, if I hired a home health aide, would that be would that make you? It was no negotiation.
None.
This was just coming. You talking to me like I'm hired help.
Submit
to my plan. Ass will. No.
Get on my plan. Get on my program.
I'm not submitting to your stupid ass plan, okay? I'm not submitting to your stupid. You can come just like when you have a business, you write out a business proposal, and somebody could read it and be like, this is the most dumb. This has so many gaps and holes in it. I can't fund this. I can't fund this. There's too many issues.
Yeah.
Just because you submit a plan to somebody does not mean they have to accept it, especially if there's a lot of holes and issues with the plan.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. Women, I I kind of understand. I'm married, right? And I'm always going to say this over and over, but I do understand when women choose not to get married.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, because I definitely see value in marriage. I am married. I value my marriage. There's a lot of
Right.
positive things, but you got to be married to the right one. You got to be married to someone that is going to have a conversation with you, that is going to that can
Treat you like a
negotiate, that
human.
can take your
Treat
needs
you
into
like a human.
consideration, and try to find a way that we can work together as a family. But this bullshit about like I'm the dictator, it's not possible. But I mean, like, listen, it's not for me. It ain't for me. If it's
She
for
said it
you,
ain't for me.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, who am I to tell you if you want to be under a dictatorship? Bree, this is why I told you that I'm gonna work. This is
Yeah,
exactly the
right,
reason why I
exactly.
told you I'm going to work. But
Yeah, because
apparently,
you be
even
like,
if
I
you
can
do
skip
work, it
out.
don't make a motherfucking difference, because he's
That's
still
what I'm
expecting her.
saying. Like, the way I thought this man was gonna say she was a stay-at-home wife,
Right?
and the way I was shook when she said she still gotta go to work,
She still
and he
gotta go to
didn't say,
work.
well, you could quit.
The
The way that wasn't the next statement.
He did not say that at all. He said, "You lying down right now. You got all this free time watching. What was her shows? Oh, you got all this free time."
I literally started punching the air. Because I just can't. You can't be traditional about everything except in pockets. I don't get it.
Oh.
That's why Shira 7 be live for 3 hours every day.
She
Talking
has
about
to
sprinkle,
be.
sprinkle.
Sprinkle. But this is the reason why, Brie, I told you that, like, I'm always going to work. And it's not that, like, I don't have a great guy. It's not that. But do you
Right.
think that she would have had the ability, that wife, if she did not work, do you think she would have been as forthright about putting her boundaries down if she didn't have money in her pocket to say
Yeah, but
fucking
she
no?
probably, a lot of what I was also hearing from her, she's already pushed to her limit. She's working. She's doing all the care of the kids. She's taking care of him. She even said she's taking care of the house. This woman is a woman who is pushed. She's barely keeping her head above water. She is
You
pushed to her absolute limit.
find
So
every
maybe,
woman.
right.
It's
So
so
maybe if she didn't work, she would have a
easy.
little bit more mental space to think about giving grandma her pills in the morning because she don't have to go to work.
Man, shit. Listen, at that age, she might be slipping some grand's oxy on her for herself, because the shit,
She said, I'm gonna
one
be
for
taking
you
grandma
and one
pills.
for me. Xanax for you and Xanax for me.
Me and Gammy
Because
had
it's gonna be
Xanax
ridiculous.
today. me
This
me
is
and
gonna
Gammy
be
in here
fucking
high as
nuts.
fuck together.
We
I
both
mean,
gonna be in here pissing. Who the
as a
hell?
woman who stay at home and don't work, I am professionally unemployed. I feel like if my husband came to me and he wanted to take on that financial burden, because you finna be paying for grandma's healthcare aid and all that stuff too, and
I can see you helping out, though. I can't see you
yeah.
not doing some shit, but you definitely gonna need the help. You a
But if
little
I
bitty
was still a
thing.
nurse, if I was still a full-time nurse and he came to me with it, I might be like, so why your mama can't take care of her mama? Because I gotta go to work. And we got 3 kids and a cat. And you be traveling for work. So
Yes, that's a lot.
that's a lot. So if I was
Yeah,
full-time, I may have a different, but I be home, I be kicking it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I
right.
like my in-laws and I love his grandma even. You know what I'm saying? I might be able to swing it. I'm professionally
You can say
married.
some of it, but even so, bro, you are a little bitty thing. You still need someone to come by and help
Yeah,
out,
he
like
gonna
the
have to pay for it. That's
washing.
why I said I even
Yeah,
though he works, I would be like, so you're gonna pay for this home health care aid?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
We
in
need
the
a couple of
conversation.
hours so we can get these baths in. If there's any wounds, just we need someone to help out here.
I'm not doing
Not
wound care.
possible.
I'm not doing wound care. Like
I don't
that's
mind wound care at all. I love wound care. I don't know what it is about wound care that I love
I
so
know
much. I
that's
like to
like your
see it get
thing.
healed.
So
But
yeah, so for me, that's what I mean. This woman's already at her limit and he's just trying to offload more and more and more to her.
mhm,
And so that's why for me, I'm like, if we not in a traditional setup. So I'm trying to figure out why I don't hear we in nothing you're saying right now. Or
mm.
or how you gonna pick up some of this load you're dumping on me. As a whole employed woman
With
with
children,
twins.
twins, and a husband, and who's gonna be doing all the laundry when there's an accident in the bed or whatever? Is he gonna be doing the laundry or all this extra laundry?
No,
It's
he's
people
not.
don't really take into consideration. It's just too much. It
Right. I'm
really
sure
is a
he just
lot.
goes to work and come home. That's probably what he does. That's probably the extent of what he does. And apparently irritate his wife. That's
But
probably
I'm sure
all
to
he
the
does.
outside world, he'll get all the praise. Like, man, you let your grandma in, man. You're a big man for that, man. Break up to you, bro. Yeah, yeah. But inside the house, who's really doing all the work?
Her. So yeah, I don't know. I say, you know, marriage isn't for the faint of heart. I once again, I will be teaching my girls, look, boundaries, ladies, boundaries. Like, somebody making all the money don't mean that like they could just do whatever the fuck they want to you.
Exactly. That's why I keep telling you. Remember, we had this conversation. That's why I'm afraid of not working, because I'm gonna have a voice, and and I'm not, like, I say that, and I'm still willing to do a whole lot, Brie. Like, I am
Right.
willing to help out a whole lot, but what you will not
Right.
do is disregard my feelings, my time, my fucking energy. Like, if I have the
Right.
capacity to do it, like, you already know my character. It's done. But if I say no and I can't do it, then that needs to be
Right.
respected, because few and far
I'm
between do
giving
I
you
say no.
reasons. I'm giving you reasons why I'm saying no. She didn't just say no to say no. She's like, I work, I gotta take. She's giving you a whole list of reasons, and you're not offering any fixes to any of that.
Mm-mm.
You're just like, no, you're just gonna do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And
And it's
so
not even about me. It's also about
that's
grandma. Like,
problematic.
she needs proper care. If I can't do it, like, it's a disservice to her.
Right. I be done fucked around and kill your grandma, and you never gonna let that go. You never gonna let it go. You gonna feel like I killed your grandma because I didn't want to do it in the first place.
The first damn place.
You know what I'm saying? All that stuff should be clarified before marriage, for sure. Ladies, do have to keep a bargaining chip, and your own income is a good one. Once again, I never claimed to be a great or amazing good person. I don't really give a fuck about being good, but I would definitely lay it out to you. I'm gonna take you for all your shit. If I quit my job to stay home with your big head ass kids and raise them and support your dreams so you can work as much as you need to, great. I'm so grateful for you paying all the bills, and that's great. But if we get a divorce, I'm taking your shit. I'm
You've been
getting
consistent with that. You have
I'm
not
getting my
ventured to the left
percentage.
or to the right. Like, she is straight.
I'm getting my shit. Go ahead and calculate out my percentage. I do have my own business. I will be taking that as well with me to keep making money. So yeah, that's my bargaining chip.
I don't
I'm
know if I
dragging
have a
that ass.
bargaining chip. I mean, like, I never even looked at a job as a bargaining chip.
I
I
think
just
some
looked
women
at it
like
as
just
keeping my
think it makes
voice.
them. Yeah, I think some women feel like having their own money is the way to keep their voice. And what I'm saying is, I got a voice, and I'm gonna be using it. I don't care who making the fucking money.
Right. Right.
So don't ever, because I bring value to this setup too.
What you bring to the
Because
table, Kawhi? What you bring to the table,
right,
Kawhi Bree?
because how you work at 12-hour days, 7 days a week with kids? Who who
You only
that
work
was
3
me.
days.
Right, that was me. So like we're working as a team, and thank God my husband sees it that way. He sees it as we are a team, and one can't do what the other. We can't do this without each other.
Absolutely
So I'm
not.
never
Very yin
gonna
and
come
yang in
at you.
here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ever come at you like you not doing nothing because you're staying home raising our kids, homeschooling our kids, feeding me. Like he just, the audacity. I just couldn't even imagine if my husband came at me that way, because the way I would be probably in shock. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
couldn't even
crazy.
imagine it.
I
I
don't even
couldn't.
know. It seems to me that, like, and he wasn't even prepared the way that he was stuttering. He was surprised at her response. I wonder,
Yes, it
did she
was.
always speak up, or did she find her voice recently? Because he was shocked. Like he was shocked.
He was shook. Like she was like, and I said no. So now what? I think he was
You saw how she
scared
bent
to
her
like
neck afterwards and rolled her eyes. She was
the
like,
way
into the
she
side.
set up. The way she set up, like
And,
square up, square up.
you know,
She set up like square up. So I mean, good for her for saying. But once again, he make it easy. You not offloading. Like, don't ever push anybody to the point where they crunching numbers to see if they can do it without you.
oh,
Male or female. Like, I've talked to men. I've listened to husbands. You know, my husband got some homies, and they be on the phone like calculating, if I left this bitch, how much would I have left?
that's
Like
terrible. That's
you do not
terrible.
want to push your partner to be crunching the numbers on an Excel spreadsheet. Okay.
Oh, that's terrible. But I will also say, and all jokes aside, like, I know she said, you can leave, but I'm not a big proponent of people. Like, if you don't mean it, don't say that shit.
Now I
You
think she
know,
meant it though.
I think she did too. But I feel like some,
I think she
but I do
did.
feel like people say that and they don't always mean it because they think that motherfucker won't leave. I'm not a big proponent of threatening divorce. Like, if you
I
don't
feel like
mean it, don't
if you
say
make
it.
an ultimatum though, you got to be ready to ride it out.
You
So I
got to be
definitely
ready
agree.
to
Like
write it.
I'm pro ultimatums, but like you better be ready to ride out that
Yeah,
other option if they say no. You know what I mean?
exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah, she seemed like she was ready though. She seemed like she thought she could swing it.
It sounded like her life might have been a little bit easier without him rather, you know?
Exactly.
And that's
Exactly.
sad to say because together, I really believe that together we're stronger, you know? It's hard
Well,
to have
unless you in
everything
this
on your back.
situation, Candyman,
Hmm?
are you really stronger together if he just gonna heap stuff on
Not
you
like
until
that.
you eventually die?
No, 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 not like that. No, 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 no,
Oh,
no, 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 not like
yeah.
that.
So that's
You
not that
know?
dynamic.
But that's the thing that I want people to recognize. Why I want to have part of the reason why I want to have this conversation because, in an idealistic world, when you're young and you don't anticipate all this nonsense, of course you're stronger together. And you read the Bible, it talks about how two people stay warm together, and what's that?
A
Three
three
strings can't be
cord can
broken
never
easily,
be
or whatever it
broken.
says.
Right.
And those things are all very reasonable and they all make sense. But you have to take into consideration the character of the person. I almost talk about character. You got to take into consideration the person you're talking about. Is this
Exactly.
person going to look at you like a come up? Are they looking at you like they're going to offload all this responsibility while they're out there living their lives?
Yeah, the
So
dynamic between the two of you is important
yes,
as well
so important.
because the dynamic is going to depend on your two personalities together. So
Yes,
you might be in a completely different dynamic with someone with a completely different personality. So I always tell married people to focus on the dynamic, and dynamics can change multiple ways. One person can change the dynamic. Both people can change the dynamic. So a lot of times it's the dynamic issue, and you
right.
really have to pay attention to the dynamic you and the person you're with actually have.
Exactly. And don't let Walt
Rashawn,
Disney fuck around and have you thinking that it's gonna be you're gonna find a prince and you kissed a couple of frogs, but now I got my prince and all this nonsense,
yeah,
right?
exactly. He asked, "Do you lose your voice because you don't make money? Is that the feeling that we manifest or truth?"
Who's we, me or people? Who
I think he's just
I can talk
saying
for
people.
myself.
Do people manifest that because it's kind of like what we believe? It feels like he was saying.
For myself, I don't know, and I'm happy to say that I'm not happy to say it. I am willing. That's the better word. I'm willing to say that it is an insecurity. I have no qualms about that. It's an insecurity because
Right.
I demand to have my individualism. I'm not someone that's throwing my individualism in someone's face and I'm gonna do this and you can't tell me. I'm all happy to talk. I didn't survive. I must survive. I didn't make it through all these years of having a good marriage without compromising and all this kind of stuff. But no
Right.
one's gonna come up to me and tell me what the fuck I'm supposed to do at any given motherfucking time, ever,
Yeah.
at all, point blank, period. Like not to that extent. Like I get it. Like there's been times my husband told my black ass to get in the house. You know what I'm saying? Some shit's going down. He's like, get the fuck in the house. Like, I'm not
Right.
saying that he ain't telling me what the hell to do. I'm not. Listen, don't get it twisted. I'm told what to do often, right? But I'm saying
Right.
like in terms of like you're going to be taking care of my mother and you're gonna work and you're gonna take care of the kids and you're gonna have 4 babies and you're gonna have this and you're gonna do that. Like no,
Ooh, that be triggering me. Ooh.
no. No, and then you're gonna have the next child, and you're gonna breastfeed.
Ooh.
I don't want my child formula fed, and you're gonna do
Ooh.
this, and you're gonna like all these expectations that I hear women go through. And I need sex on a regular basis, and you better not get fat.
No.
Come on now.
I'm
Which is
getting
why women are
chills.
out
Like the
here
more
trying
you
to go
ramble
fuck with
off
somebody
that
else
bullshit,
after a couple of months of having a child because they're scared to look like a regular human being after a child because they want to fit some fucking fantasy that these men have. Not saying it's always just the men's fault, okay? I'm just saying in general, there's
this
so
is
much
women.
societal
Yeah.
pressure.
Yeah, that pressure, everything you gotta be rock with the fupa. You know what I'm saying? You have your kids, the fupa come with the territory, y'all. Just let it go. It's gonna be there. It's not that serious. It's really not.
It's not that big a deal.
And for the women, for my daughters, I'm just gonna teach them you can't stay home and give up your life for everybody.
Not for
And
everybody.
that don't mean that he might be a good husband, but it's just, I think once again, I look at dynamics because it takes villainizing people, because a lot of times it's just dynamics. That it's like, well, if you give him, some people can't handle what you give them. Like, if you give them power, some people can't handle having that
Some
much
people
power
cannot.
over your fate. And it's
Ooh,
not because they have a bad intention, but it's like they've never been handed power over that much power.
Exactly.
They've never been handed that much responsibility. Maybe they could come to be able to handle that amount of responsibility one day, but maybe you need to dose it out. Like, honestly, I've known my husband for 19 years. We haven't been married 19 years, but I would never quit my job and just let him pay all the bills like 18 years ago. He would not be able to handle that. You know what I mean? Like, and I just
That's
saw that in
real.
him. But like, that doesn't mean he's not a great person, because as you can see, we're married now, and I speak so highly of him, and I really mean it. But like, that's why I keep telling people, like, stop looking at who's right, who's wrong, who's better, who's worse. It's a dynamic. And like, you all bring your own stuff to that dynamic. And so, like, I will tell my daughters, just because he wanted you to stay home and take care of the kids, girl, don't mean, just because he wants
Exactly.
you to
Don't
stay
mean that
home
he's capable. I
and
love
have
what you
4
said.
kids. Yeah, it doesn't mean. I've seen men who did that and told their wives that because they felt like that's what they were supposed to say, because they were traditional. And then you look at that same man 15 years and he hates his fucking life because he constantly is under the stress of being the sole supporter for all these people, and they never really made the money to make their decision anyway. And like, it's just been a struggle bus life for like 15 years, and he's
Talk
like
about
feeling the
it.
weight of it, and he feels like a prisoner to his own fucking decision. Like,
What?
girl,
Girl.
like,
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
Girl. Like, I'm telling you, you are so on. Like, you said a couple of things that, like, not everyone is capable of having that power. Like, I'm not saying that some men don't. I'm just saying that with great intentions, you might not even know what to do with it. Right? It
They
doesn't mean that
don't
you have
be
good
knowing what to do
intentions.
with it.
Right? And on top of that, we talked about like crushing under your own decisions, like the weight of falling under your own decisions. Like, that's a word right there. That's a word, because like, you the one that asked for this traditional setup. Now you got to see it through. Now you got to see it through. And are you going to be able to stand up? And listen, that's why I'm all for, like, we can renegotiate.
You can change your mind. You have the right to change your mind. But what you're not going to do is come drag me to just get to the point that you change your mind. You could just tell me exactly how you feel. That, oh, you know what? I thought this was going to be cute, but now we riding it out and it really ain't cute. So I changed my mind.
Do it, babe.
You can say that. You don't have to drag me. Right. You're not going to drag me for following you're not going to drag me for following your decision because you feel like it's too much for you to bear. You know what I'm saying? Humble yourself and just say you can't do it. I had to do that. Let me humble myself real quick.
What?
I cannot go to work full time and take care of these fucking kids. So what's gonna happen is your girl's gonna be
black woman, girl.
No, hell no. I
'em.
am not strong. I'm not independent. I am not a survivor. I will give up. I absolutely will stop, and I will not work harder.
Love it. That needs to be clipped.
Yes, so no, your girl's not it. And I've had conversations where I was like, I know you thought I was that bitch, and that's cute. I'm glad you had so much faith in me, but listen, I can't do it.
I can't, and you're no less of a woman that you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And all this bullshit about my grandma did it. My great grandma had 15 children, and she was able to do this and had to. Like, go fuck your grandma. Listen, let her come do this shit then. Let her come and do this. Times are different. I'm being a little bit facetious here, by saying fuck your grandma, because I don't really feel that way 100%. But like, I'm just saying, like, we got to take into consideration that times are different. Like, 10 cents can't buy all that it could buy when it was a couple years ago. Right. So we got to take into consideration that times have changed, expectations have changed. The income that you could earn and taking care of your family on one income, it's difficult now. Less and less of us are able to do it.
Listen, inflation
It's not easy. The rent done went up over here. The gas is high. Like, it costs a lot to maintain all this shit. It really does cost a lot. And so, I don't like it when people say, like, my grandmother did this, and my grandma. Yeah, I'm not your grandmother.
Girl, your grandma with her $2 house. Girl. There was a point in time where I would have told my husband we could have 4 kids. And then I had that last one. And the way she almost took my ass out, I was like, you know what? We're not going to do that.
Yes,
We're not doing that again. You can change your mind. So
Mhm.
like your wife can change her mind. Your husband can change his mind. My husband came in here today, was like, it was cute. I told you could stay home, but I'm struggling. I
Mhm.
might need you to consider getting a part-time job. It'll be a conversation we'll have, and like
Right.
how's that gonna change the dynamic? What's gonna have to
Right.
move around? Let's crunch the numbers. It will be a conversation, but he
Right.
has the right to change his mind.
Right. And I want to emphasize over and over again that you're no less of a man for not being able to completely financially take care of the household 100% by yourself. You're no less
Right.
of a woman by not being able to do all these motherfucking caretaking responsibilities. Like, if you're married, you are a team, and however that gets divided up, however those responsibilities get deviated out, it's up to you. Like, if no one needs to, and besides that, Brie, no one needs to know what the fuck goes on in my house. If my husband decides X, Y, and Z, and between the two of us, that's the agreement that we made, I'm standing up. Once we come to a determination, that's what it's going to be.
Right.
Don't
That's what
question
it's
him,
gonna
because
be.
don't question my husband. Right, Mom,
Listen,
that's what the fuck my husband said. Don't ask him. Don't ask me. That's what we decided. I don't have to explain this shit to you. That's what we
the
decided.
way
You don't question
me
him
and
about
Candy
these
Ann be ready
things.
to square up with mamas all for hours. I'd
Not,
be
not,
like, what?
don't ask him.
What's your
Don't
mama?
question him, please. Don't do that, because it's not gonna go like you think it's gonna go.
It's not. That's how I am. Once we come, even my own mom, that's boundaries. Like, hey, you can
Boundaries,
feel how
yes.
you feel,
Once
but
we
that's what
decide,
hubby and myself decided. That's what it's going to be.
that's what it's
And if
gonna
you
be.
got something to say, don't
I don't even
start
have to
going behind the
100% agree
scenes.
to it.
Don't be trying to manipulate behind the scenes. Don't be let me catch you throwing some low key shade, trying to shame. Don't be over here being passive aggressive because I'm aggressive. That's what we not finna do, and that go for all the parents.
Yeah,
We said what we
100%.
said.
That's exactly. I don't even have to 100% agree to the decision 100%. But once we come that this is what it's going to be, then I'm standing 10 tones down on what the decision is. That's just the
Right.
way it's going to be. So don't come over
That's
here
my man.
questioning.
So I'd be like, that's my man. Because, my mom is like, girl, you really quit your job. She's proud of me, but sometimes we be making a decision and I'd be like, look, that's my man. And that's what he said we finna do. So that's what we finna do.
That's what we're about to do. Don't ask me no extra questions about who, what, where, when, why. It's my business. As Tab
Right.
says, that's my business.
Yes.
Okay,
My
because
mom
that's my
hated
business.
when we moved. She likes me to be close. And I was like, hey, husband
Lois.
said we finna be in Memphis, we finna be in Memphis. If he said we finna be in Alabama, we finna be in Alabama. So
There you go.
that's it. Period. So yeah.
Yep.
So that's how it is. Gotta keep it.
But that kind of, look, to have a woman that's gonna say, I'm gonna stand up for my husband in that way, it takes a certain kind of man that's communicating, that we can feel confident in. But somebody
Right.
come in the way that this man came in the video, you're
Oh
not
yeah,
gonna
he
get that same kind
goofy.
of response out of me.
Yeah, he finna be goofy. I might drag his ass too.
He might get something thrown at his damn head coming to me like this.
Exactly.
You know?
So
So it's not.
women do be out here riding for their men, y'all, like we do, but not
But
if
it
you're
takes
gonna
a
be coming like
particular
this.
kind of man, a special kind of character, like a man of integrity. And this integrity that we're talking about, unfortunately, Brie, I'm telling you, it makes me sad to even have to utter this. It really, really, like, I'm about to say this, and it's hurting me to have to say this. It seems like within our community, it's few and far between. That kind of integrity is few and far between. And this is why when people ask me if I would ever get married again, the answer is no. The answer is no, because how will I find another man like that? They're few and far between. How the fuck am I going to find another man in which I can 10 toes down, stand for, sit behind when I have to sit behind? When he tells me to get my ass in the house, don't question him, get in the house.
Yeah.
Who can I trust to that level?
She,
Who?
girl, I don't know either, because the way I'm be sitting here single forever. That's it. I'll just be a business owner. That's what I'll be.
It's fine by me. I'd rather stay by myself than to have anything less than what I'm used to, the way that I've been treated, the way that I've been loved, because, and like I said, I would not say this in the beginning because, in the beginning when you're young, you want to get married and you're like, oh my God, I'm just going to love him. But now that we've gone through everything in those vows, the sickness and the health, for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, and I've seen my own character, now I can fully say, wait a second, girl, you are valuable, Anne. Candidate, girl, you are valuable. Don't give
you
this
start
to
going through some
anybody.
shit together. You be like, look at me. Look
Right?
at me.
Right?
Like, bitch, you really showed up. Like,
I was like, girl, you went through this. You and with integrity, with poise,
yeah,
I'm like, damn, I didn't realize what a wife I could be. Like, I'm actually quite, my family members love me, my in-laws love me. They're,
yeah,
and I'm like, damn, I didn't know I had this in me. Not that I didn't
yeah.
think I did, but like
I
it's a
feel it.
different things that exactly to actually go through the life and to
Yeah, to reach,
those
start
kind of
to
things.
reach some of your potential, to see your own potential unlocked through
Yes,
this like partnership that you would never see this stuff if you weren't in a
never.
partnership. And
That's why
even
I'm
getting to see your
protective of
partner, like
myself.
their potential unlocked, like the way my husband was with me when I was in the hospital after I had my baby and we almost died, and like the way he just, laid on
Wow.
that uncomfortable ass bench and like had his back hurting for weeks and he
Mm.
refused to leave my side. Like that was, you
Mm-hmm.
start
Things
getting
you'll
stuff
never
like that
forget.
under your belt. Yeah, you be like, fuck these other
I'm
girls.
not going back to no nonsense. Talk to me like I'm crazy. I'm gonna go over here and you're gonna take care of my grandmother. What?
Yeah. That's what I'm
What?
saying. But I think if you have respect for each other, you would respect how your partner would feel
Oh,
about that. So,
absolutely. Because I would do anything that I can. I would do anything that I can. Like my family members, they know me. Like I'm not saying
right,
I don't care about like holidays and stuff like that, but like for me, I don't wait for a holiday to buy my in-law or my family members or whatever the fuck I feel like buying them. If I
listen,
see something from my mother-in-law in the damn store and I feel like buying it, I don't give a fuck. It's Tuesday. I'm buying it
right. The
and
way
I'm
me and my
mailing it.
mother-in-law be
Don't
running the
ask me
streets
why.
together, the way we be out here in these streets shopping and coordinating some stuff. Okay, the way we
Right?
be riding around town getting it. I love my I love my in-law, like for real, and even her mom. The way when me and my husband worked together, the way his grandma called me every other day to check on me
What?
when I lived in Seattle. Listen,
She
I love me
did?
some them. Yeah, she did. We still talked all the time, like
That's so
all
sweet.
the time.
Well, I
They
love my
really are.
in-laws and they love me
Same.
back and I'm so blessed. Like I'm
And
so
speaking of that,
blessed.
I'm supposed to be going to the Little Mermaid with my mother-in-law at
Ooh,
3:40. So I got to make
okay.
sure all the kids are round up because I'm running the streets with her today as we speak.
Okay.
So this was a great
Yes.
conversation.
Woo! Always
Anything
great
you want to
talking to
say?
you.
Yes.
No,
Anything
that's
else we want
about
to?
it. Like, I just to wrap up my little final thought, I'll just say that, like, listen, as we had this conversation, like, I want people to understand that, like, we're not against loving a man. We're not against these responsibilities. We are not against caretaking and all this other stuff. But like, it really takes a honorable person, a person that is balanced, and it just takes a certain integrity, a certain kind of character, and you will get as much as I possibly can out of me. But when I say enough, when I say I'm tapped, I ain't got it. That needs to be
Yeah.
respected,
Right.
And that's it. That's all. So great conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation.
We be out
That's
here
about
cutting
it.
up. Me and Candy be cutting up. So
Cutting
yes.
all the way up.
I enjoyed
Shit.
this conversation. Shout out to Rashawn for hosting us for Toxic Tuesday, Takeover
Hey,
Tuesday. And
yes.
I will catch y'all whenever and I know Rashawn goes live in a little bit. So I look forward to that. Team Jesus over here for me. So I look forward to that to see what he has to say. So yeah, we'll catch y'all next time.
All right. Take
Bye.
care. Bye.